morning and welcome to the very final To The Point program for the week. It is Thursday, April 9th, 2020. Those of you joining us on the GBN Television Facebook page, those of you on Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, GBN channel 7, 11 or 20, Hot 98, Classic 105. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It is Thursday, but because there is no program tomorrow, we are going to facilitate Open Line today. So it's Open Line Thursday. This is where you get to call with anything that is on your mind. Questions, queries, comments, concerns. 435-2041 is the number to call and participate. You can also send in your comments, questions, queries, concerns to the GBN Television Facebook page, Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, or on the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp, it's also 435-2041, but please do not voice or video call the WhatsApp. We can't take those calls. Neither can we listen to your voice notes. Only typed messages that can be facilitated on the WhatsApp, and we would kindly appreciate it if we can please leave those to 2 minutes or less, maybe 3 minutes or less. Let's see how 2 minutes goes. 2 minutes or less, so we can facilitate as many callers as possible during the hour that we have. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Would MoneyGram on the Morris Bishop Highway be open today?
I think because the one...
all MoneyGrams, but I waited there until about 3 minutes ago, and it's not open, and there are no signs of anybody coming to open or anything.
Okay, so hold on, let me double check. No, the only ones in St. George that will be open, Foodland Market Square and Foodland in Karani James Boulevard. So that's the two MoneyGrams that would be facilitated in St. George, Market Square, Foodland Market Square, and Foodland Karani James. So not the one on the highway.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Yeah, 435-2041. Again, the Western Union, only one I know of that is open this morning from 9. Well, it should be open now. The one on the Carnage. So those of you who need to get to MoneyGram, I am seeing videos of lines and lines and lines and lines and lines of vehicles at gas stations. Yeah, if you do not need to get gas, don't top up just because you don't know when the station will open again. If you're on a half tank, you could stay home because you shouldn't be driving anywhere over the next few days, week or so anyway. So if you're on a half tank, you could stay home. Don't join the long line. I understand the one in Grandans has already looped the roundabout by True Blue and is making his way up the next side, full of traffic. The one leading to Deco gas station is already coming down the lane. So if you don't need to get gas, don't join the lines. They think coconius. Good morning.
Good morning, Blossom, and how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm trying to keep safe.
Nice.
What happened is this. Our pension comes down from overseas, and I thought the bank is not able to facilitate us, and we can't get any monies to get medication. And that's a problem. Yesterday I tried to get to Superintendent Cohen, but there was no chance of getting there. At least if the bank had someone inside, they don't have to open to process these things. We can still get it from the ATM, but it's not processed.
Okay, thank you. What I can say is that during the news conference by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell on, was it Monday, I believe it was, Monday evening, he did say discussions are ongoing with the Bankers Association to see what can be facilitated during this time. So discussions are ongoing. We haven't heard any updates as of this morning, but rest assured that according to the Prime Minister, they are in discussions with the association to see what can be facilitated. They understand the needs of people who need to use in the bankers or the tellers themselves, the tellers in the bank, not the teller machines. So they're trying to work out something. So from the amendments that have been made over the past few days and weeks as it relates to the regulations, I am hopeful that something would happen as it relates to that as well. The authorities have been very accommodative. Let's hope it's not to our detriment, but they've been very accommodative with a number of requests that people have been making. So this could be one of them. Let's hope for the best, please. Good morning. Good. Okay, somebody playing? Good morning. Yeah. 435-2041 is the number to call. There was a question that I saw on the WhatsApp. Let me look for it. In the meantime, can you find out for me when Farm and Garden will be open, please? I have some chickens and I don't have food for them, which reminds me, but Farm and Garden, I am not sure. However, Caribbean Agro Industries have advised that they will be opened this Saturday, which is the next shopping day, April 11th, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they will service customers who want to purchase at least 15 bags of products, that is flour and or animal feed, per transaction. Anyone who wants less than 15 bags of products would not be facilitated or accommodated at Caribbean Agro. So those of you who need to get flour or animal feed, Caribbean Agro will open on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Farm and Garden, I am not sure. I don't. Good morning.
Good morning, Brother.
Morning, I'm good.
I'm calling you from the place. I'm listening to people work for the money hard. And then we catch you still to spend it. Why we catch you spending the money? The bank's supposed to open to give us the money because we're ready for hard times. And hard times come, time for us to get with money.
Right, like I just said, they are working on making arrangements for the banks to open.
Yeah, but time to work, for the time they're working on it, how long they take on it?
Okay.
We're hungry.
Thank you. Like I said, they understand. They are working on it. We have to be mindful that the setting of the banks and the amount of people that want to use it, it's not the ideal situation that the authorities would like to facilitate. So they need to ensure that whatever arrangements are put in place are feasible and can work. So they can't just open the banks because people need to use the banks. We need to be mindful of why the banks are closed in the first place. So like they said, they are working on it. As soon as they have an update, they would let us know, and I would share them with those of you who maybe didn't catch the update. But for now, let's hope for the best. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Morning.
And how are you?
I'm good.
Praise God.
Thank you.
Yes, I am calling to find out when Western Union will be open. And as you is just talking about the bank, now I doesn't have much, but little what I have in the bank, my week by week going and take out to get food, okay? And then I have no money to shop, so I wish the government could really look into the bank so that we can get some money to shop. And I would like to know when Western Union will be open, please. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I guess you missed the beginning of the program. I said Western Union, the only one that is open is the one on the Carnage from 9 a.m. to... Well, I didn't get a closing time, but they're open on the Carnage only, as far as I'm aware, from 9 a.m. Again, the banks, they are working on it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Just wanted to find out, the gas stations open at 8 o'clock. What time are you supposed to be on the road to get to the gas station so that you can get gas at 8? Because one was on the road a little after 7, maybe about 10 past 7, and was turned back and was told that you cannot be on the road before 8, which to me seems to be leading to a big pile-up.
Okay, thank you, caller. As far as I am aware, let me make sure. The gas stations opened today from 8 to 1. As advised by Superintendent Kerwin yesterday, you can only be allowed on the road within an hour that the store is opening. Well, I guess that's for grocery stores, but I'm assuming it applies for gas stations. It's possible that not everyone is au fait with the regulations or the rules in place for the regulations. Yes, I know everybody should be on the same page of the same book, but I guess a little breakdown in communication or so. Probably that person wasn't aware, or they're thinking the gas stations are opening at 9 instead of 8, so you can be on the road before 8 o'clock, if you understand what I'm saying. So it could be a breakdown in communication, so I am not exactly certain about why that person or that driver was turned away. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much. Blossom, one thing I want to say to you, right? Don't let these people confuse you and to kill you and to put your pressure up. These people asking the question over and over every day. People need to listen and stop taking gossips and listen to what the office have to say, what y'all have to say, what Shaggy has to say, and things will go so smooth in Grenada. Every day the same question over and over. And some of them not even framing the question properly. They listen at gossips, and that's what is going on. And Blossom, you have a good day. You have your family to take care of. You have your mother, everybody. Don't let these people confuse you. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you. I'm trying not to let them confuse me. Sometimes I guess they miss, the beginning of the program, so they may ask a question that was already answered before. Some, I firmly believe, I don't know, they do it deliberately. I don't know. Not all, but I get what you're saying. I'm trying to, it takes patience. It takes patience. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
I just want to congratulate you on the fact that you do an excellent job in decoding a lot of things that come in on the radio. Right? One, my contribution is to the general populace of Grenada. We understand that we are in traumatic crisis moments. These are difficult words. They are serious words. COVID-19 is not a friend. COVID-19 is an enemy. When it comes, the intent is to take lives. Even if you're without $5, $12, $1,200, based on certain economic situations, because most people have been home, if you really did your budget well and you look, you'd see that you're saving. Every day you don't have to pay the $10, put gas, do whatever. It's a way of saving. So while there's this fear and there's the understanding of not being certain what's happening, I think the population needs to be more understanding. Everyone wants something that they don't currently have, but we have to look at needs-based assessment and we have to look at wants. And I am getting a little bit tizzy with some of the puerile, mundane comments that are coming through. I think we need to be very mature in this situation. Now, if COVID-19 were bombs that were being dropped, we'd have to be finding relatives, friends, but we'd have to stay put. Vicariously, we'd have to stay put. Forcefully, we'd have to stay put. This is an unseen enemy, and I think with the information out there that has been beautifully laid out by CAFA, WHO, and our own Ministry of Health, and so we need to say kudos to all those who have been trying to keep us safe, even if some of us appear as though we don't want to be safe. So I want to urge Grenadians, let good sense prevail, and I want to remember that this is Holy Week. It's Monday, Thursday. Let us remember Jesus sharing and his sacrifice for us all. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you very much. You have yourself a good day as well. Yes. Let's try and understand. Everybody wants something. Everybody wants something and they need something and it's deemed as necessary. And I think we keep forgetting why these regulations are in place. Every time an amendment is made to some regulation because of a request from a group of people, I think it puts us in more danger. Let's try and remember what this shutdown is for. It's not for decoration. It's not to give people a holiday. It's for a reason. Somebody on Facebook says, I have a problem with the last name scenario, which I think will be problems. I think it should be a zoning process. Example, Monday can be St. Andrew and St. Therese, Wednesday St. Mark and St. John, Friday St. George and St. David, also Carriacou and PG Martinique, and I think will be much better than going by alphabetical order. It might just be the same expected chaos. But people have been calling for alphabetical order. Now we get alphabetical order. Now we have another suggestion for zoning. What is what we really want in Greens? Let's see how alphabetical order would work out. Oh, and I need to say something about alphabetical order as well. While it is A to N and M to Z, and the stipulation says alphabetical order, it's not anybody that comes in A, all the A's go in and all the B's go in and all the C's go in by surname. Once you're in the alphabetical order that or the piece of the alphabet that they're facilitating, whichever time you get there, you just join the line. So an N could be in front of a B, or A could be behind a D. It depends on the time you get there. So it's not to say you reach first, your surname is in N, but somebody comes in A and they go in front of you. That's not how it will work. Alphabetical order, yes, to facilitate only A to N's, but it's whatever time you get to the supermarket lines. So when I come through with my Alexis, I could be behind a Neptune. Not because I'm an Alexis, they will put me in the front of the line. Okay? Right. Let's go back by the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
You know what's driving us crazy in Grenada in these last days now, in this period, this crisis? It's not wants, it's not needs, it's greed. Thanks.
I am not sure. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not sure I would say greed. I would say wants. I guess maybe some people are quote unquote greedy. Like was highlighted yesterday, there are people who are hoarding gas cylinders, cooking gas cylinders, or food and other products, and some people are doing without. But I think it's more wants they want and not needs. Like, I'm sure there are people who are in the gas lines this morning with a half tank of gas. You don't need to fill it up. Half tank of gas, you stay home. You don't need to go anywhere because everybody on lockdown. You don't need to fill it up. You want to fill it up. Right now, I'm just about half, and I could go again for maybe another week or so. I don't need to join the line today. Not even the line. The big, long, swollen lines. I'm making it up. Lines is that going on out here because the thing I tell already the thing coconius. Good morning.
Good morning, Sister Blossom. How are you?
Morning, Miss J. I'm good. How you do?
Well, I did. Why you see after man now? You see as the mango trees and them flowering and blossoming and everything. This season of those cars me not to be on the air for too long. And I can't carry on for too long. So, Sister Blossom, you all doing a wonderful job. Especially my dear heart ministers and Prime Minister. Oh God, Sister Blossom, they doing a wonderful job. Sister Blossom, oh gosh, Lord, people just tell me I mustn't say that, but I have to say it. Better was the time of the revolution, the time, you know, when they had the revolution, and then they had people, when you see as when you let out a fowl, and the fowl start to run crazy, it's from 9 until 6. I'm telling you what they said them. He had a man, the poor man there, and the carnage, and the man going in latent. You know what they do? They shoot him outside because he won't have time to reach up latent before 6. When sometime when thing they are in current going up, sometimes we reach at home till 9 o'clock. Oh God, no. But people have to understand we are big people. We did just as those little children, and those little children still better than we. I'm telling you, because those little children have a lot of sense. Those little baby ones. They have a lot of sense. We're big people. Oh God, let's come together. Especially my dear Prime Minister asking for everybody to come together. And I have to send a good out proper message to the ex-Prime Minister, my brother, Brother Tillman Thomas. Brother Tillman Thomas, Sister Blossom is a wonderful fella. So all you have a wonderful day and a blessed weekend. You hear, sweetheart? And don't forget to tell me, Mommy, hello for me.
I shall do that, Miss J. Have a good one. Be safe.
Have a good one too. Bye-bye.
All right. Be safe, Ms. Jacob. All right, let me check the Facebook. Any plan will have some issues. The zoning will also have issues. You just need to give the plan a chance to work. That's a good note. Give the plan a chance to work. Don't go with the mind frame that this will be chaos. If everybody cooperates and do what they need to do, everything will just flow. All right? Somebody on Facebook says it's more of an alphabetical grouping rather than alphabetical order. That's a good way to phrase it. It's alphabetical grouping. I think people are misunderstanding the alphabetical order. Thank you. People are just not understanding and trying to make things complicated. Everyone, Papa God, doing his best for us, yet some of us not happy. Who is man? They ask. It was given. Next is complain. Father God, help us to be thankful. Alphabetical order is excellent. After the experience on Saturday coming, it may be wiser to break it down in 3 or 4 groups. Yes, it will mean more opening hours, but then less people, so a better effort at social distancing, just thinking. More resilience needed. This is crisis. Rules are in place to keep us safe. The authorities are not deliberately trying to make the public suffer. Safety is a priority at this time. Be strong. Blossom, concerning the banks, we have to realize the banks are in business to make money, and opening just to give out withdrawal mean they will not be making money, because how many people will be coming out for loans? Banks about making money through interest and investments with your money you're saving with them. They are offering special loans at this time, so they might get it back somehow. Let me go back by the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning again, Blossom.
Good morning, Ms. J.
Yeah, glad to see an open line again.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to read an excerpt, maybe about 8 verses out of 12 from Psalm 2. It says in verse 1, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break the bands asunder and cast away the cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry and you perish by the way. When his wrath is kindled but for a moment. But blessed are they that put their trust in him." Have a blessed day, baby.
Have a good one, Ms. J. Thank you very much. Let me go back by the WhatsApp. Good morning. Is FedEx operating? Not that I am aware of. I would like to address the issue of essential workers going into the supermarkets and picking up non-essential items. My observation of the last shopping day, essential workers were seen picking up chocolate bars and so on. Because I'm an essential worker, I can't enjoy a chocolate on my day off, or to relieve the stress of working every day while everybody else home. I don't understand. Just like everybody needs to make groceries, we may pick up little snacks to enjoy the quarantine. Essential workers may need a little snack when they get home from the shift, or about to go on the shift, or to snack during the shift. I don't understand the concern. Everybody needs to make groceries and to live. Morning, you may not be able to answer this question, but maybe it can be posted to a relevant person. Has any of the COVID-19 confirmed patients in Grenada recovered? And if so, why have not the nation been informed of such? We have not been informed of such because none have recovered as yet. I guess as soon as we have it, because it's good news. If it's good news, so they would definitely spread it if and when it happens. So, yeah. Read the chicken feed. Rennick Thompson on the Carnage will be opened on Saturday. So the person asking about the chicken feed, Rennick and Thompson on Saturday, shopping day. Science is skepticism, cynicism, atheism, and agnostic who don't accept anecdotal information. Here lies a problem with the new drug that is recommended for COVID. Faith, Dr. Martin. Okay. I can't understand my people now. Open this open that. When you open it up a little bit, what about this one? What about that one? When will this be open? Jesus, better they just open up the whole place, man. People ain't realize the seriousness of this virus. This is not normal conditions. We just have to work to suit. It's getting frustrating for people who obey this curfew. Oh, my word. I feel you. I endorse this statement. Better just open everything, because the way we're going, that's definitely what we want. Are health centers open again? Health centers or health services, yes, they are operating around the island. Yes, they have limited services available, but they are opened. Good morning. I make face masks and I am almost out of material, so I'd like to know when and if the stores will be open. Well, I understand you want to do a good deed. We can't open the material stores, the fabric stores in town. It's unfair. Western Union open only in St. George's. We need money in Sateers too. Well, then, as soon as Western Union in Sateers can be accommodated, which will be safe for the public, I'm sure they will do that. I know they have customers around the island. They are doing what they can. We are doing what we can. If something is not open at the moment, it's because it's not deemed to be safe at the moment. There's somebody calling the WhatsApp. We cannot take calls on the WhatsApp. I'm just reminding you about this. You know, show tomorrow, please allow, baby. I ain't have show tomorrow, please allow. Don't worry. Take care. Listen, some of us don't know the difference between needs and wants at the moment. There are plenty wants. Take good care and stay safe. Yes, there are plenty wants indeed. Like right now, I want a tub of ice cream, but, you know. Good morning. Could you tell me how I can contact NWASA? I observed a bus pipe in my area. NWASA has checked their Facebook page. There should be information on there on how to reach them during this time. So just check out their Facebook page. Good morning. To the person that's calling the WhatsApp, we cannot take voice or video calls, so please stop calling the WhatsApp. Type in your questions, comments, queries, or concerns, and I would read them and try my best to answer. Good morning. Morning, homie. You wicked Lord. Washing the pipe before wash my hands them through. Okay, homie. All right. These comments slay me. I really think needs to be considered. Some people are only thinking about their wants, especially when it comes to the banking sector. They have families too. When persons come home from abroad, the first place they visit after their arrival is the bank. Ponder on that. Nurses and other essential workers are equipped with at least some protective garments. Are people in the bank, especially those on the front line? Let me go back by the phone lines. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, calling for the program?
Yes, you're on the program. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make a point concerning, what happened from the beginning. Since the program, since the whole coronavirus thing took in place, there is a lot of people in Grenada at the moment that were out of a job at the time. And there is a lot of people working on a daily basis and a weekly basis in order to maintain themselves as they go along. So in any case, the government had to do and make the decision they made, and so be it. What I would like to say is, at the moment, the Ministry of Health is encouraging people to eat healthy. And if you look at it, a lot of people now who goes to the grocery shop and the supermarkets, they eat in tin food and preserved food. What we can't get is we cannot get fresh fish or fish and fruits. So I wonder if the government, for the time being, they could put a system in place where, whether it's in the stadium car park or in a playing field designated area, where people can go, just as they're going to the supermarket, you could go and get your fresh fruits or you can get fish, because this is healthy for us. At the end of the day, I think we need to eat healthy, and if people is not healthy and the coronavirus really take hit in Grenada, if we don't have a good immune system, we're going to die anyhow. I know it's tough for the government at the end of the day, but I will think that if the government has funds in place for projects in Grenada for in the future, I believe they should look into it seriously, that some of that funds, if they could put it in place to help people who can't afford to have anything to eat, put a system in place where the government could go around and hand out food baskets to people, because there's a lot of people in Grenada at this point in time going to bed in the night with nothing to eat. I, for one, I'm eating tin stuff which I never used to eat. So I could imagine the people who can't afford to buy and don't have no way and means of getting it. So I would like the government to look into that, those three aspects, give a designated area where people could get fish and fresh fruits and provisions to eat, and also help the people who really need the help in Grenada, because if the virus takes place, what happened in the United States and other countries, the poor people is dying, it's going to happen here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. That is a concern I'm sure the authorities have had, both the farmers and the fisher folk. I guess that would be another amendment to the regulations, again, because that seems to be the direction. Everybody wants a blight somewhere. So maybe let's see what's happening. On that note, let's take a break. This is To The Point on Hot Classic and the GBN. We'll be right back.
No, that's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow, or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective...
Welcome back to The Point. It's Open Line Thursday, where you can get to ask your questions, pose your comments, queries, concerns on our Facebook page, the GBN Television YouTube channel, or the WhatsApp, or you can call us right here, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Not too bad.
The caller just a while ago mentioned about fish, but is it a case that we have fish in stock in the country, or are fishermen going out at sea?
No, they're not. As far as I am aware, the regulations do not make provisions for fishermen to ply their trade. Yeah, as far as I'm aware. There were over maybe 2-3 weeks ago, there was a glut on the market, and fishermen were selling out what they had on hand because they could not export. I am not sure how much of that is still in freezers in the various fish markets or so. I'm not sure if there's still any on freezer, much less. But no, they're not allowed to go out on the seas, on the waters during this lockdown, at least for now. Let me go back by the Facebook. The bottom line is COVID-19 and whatever restrictions that are put in place, we just have to work with it. Remember, this is something we did not plan for, and everyone is seeking their own interest and forgetting we have a pandemic to deal with. I could see the frustration with the foolish questions, Ms. Blossom. Are we supposed to be adults? I guess common sense not so common anymore. I won't call them foolish. Some of them are questionable, maybe. Why they only open Western Union in St. George's and you cannot leave your parish? I am not sure. Contact Western Union and ask them that. Good morning. We can't please people. We are behaving as the man, his son, and the donkey. Stay safe and enjoy your day. I get your point, but what about the people without ID? How would it work for them? And also there were callers on a program who said their ID card is still processing and have no ID at home. So you have no picture ID at all. That's something I've heard as well. You don't have a passport, you don't have an NIS card, you don't have a driver's license, only the voter's registration card that you had and that has expired. No ID at all. So whose fault is that really? That you have no picture ID at all. So today, tomorrow, something happens to you. How people identifying you? We just had to pray and hope somebody knows who you were. I don't understand. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I have two important matters here, and I don't know if you could record it while I'm speaking. It has to do with the entrance into Sanssouci. When you come into Sanssouci near to the GBN, there was a bin there. The Ministry of Health removed the bin, and they put a no dumping sign there. But people are still continuing to put rubbish there. The dogs are scattering the rubbish, and when I look at the contents of the rubbish, there is gauze, mass, and used tissues in it. When the dogs play up with the rubbish and return back to their owners at their homes, and the children play with the dogs, then the corona is spread, and this is a dangerous situation. I want the authorities to look into this matter, please. There's another matter. Let me bring it up right away. I am asking the Ministry of Health to ask the nation not to play with the dogs at this time of the year, and not to play with the dogs during this epidemic. There is another disease that is taking dogs this time of the year. It is called distemper. That is a very dangerous disease, and I believe people can catch this disease from dogs. Please, please, please tie your dogs, and the authorities take notice of what I am saying. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Stray dogs is an issue. I have some in my yard today or tomorrow. A temper might hold me. I never know. But hopefully the authorities are tuned into the program this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
First of all, I just want to, it's a good initiative by the police for this alphabetical business, but what you'll find happening is that there is more persons in Grenada with surnames from A to N or M than from N to the rest of the alphabet. So I think this surname business should be cut off earlier, like up in maybe J, because Charles is one of the most common surname in Grenada. So you have too much people up on the first end of the thing. You have to cut it off earlier. Secondly, I just want to make an appeal to police officers. Now, the laws that deal with COVID, this emergency power legislation, is something new, and it's something that you have to read to know, to empower ourselves. So you can't be just going out there and you don't know what the law is saying. So I'm appealing to officers to read. It's, I don't know, maybe the officer at the different stations could get a copy, hard copy, so make it available. It's online now also, so that people, you see, you cannot be going out there to enforce certain things and you don't know what the law is saying. It doesn't make sense. So I'm just appealing to officers to try to get the legislation and read it themselves. And because it's new, you got to take a little time to read everything and not, to sink in, so we could better stop the public. It don't make sense to go out there and not armed with the knowledge that you're supposed to have, and you can't function properly. And lastly, I think there is too much exemption in this thing. They're making it too difficult for the officers on the ground. Too much exemption. It's not a case where you have, like you were saying, needs. A lot of people just want. And officers, stations is just giving permission when they should not be given. And think about the whole picture, not just individual. We got to stop that, We cannot be, they're trying to do something and where higher up is just making it difficult for us. It doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I agree with you on all your points. The police officers need to make themselves au fait with the regulations as well as members of the public. Just like the caller that asked about the driver that was turned away from going to the police station because he was on the road at 7. If we are aware of what the regulations say, we can educate, not hype up and start to cuss and get on and gallivant. Just educate the police officers, okay, this is what it is and such is the case. So just educate yourself, arm yourselves with the rules and regulations so that when you go out there, you don't have to be running helter-skelter, both police officers and members of the public, to ensure that we do or get to do what we need and want to do. What we need to do. WhatsApp. Good morning. I think some of us Grenadians just being simply mischievous for no reason. This is not a holiday. It's a critical period that will give us the assurance that we are in the all clear. Unlike some of the islands, I feel Grenada's COVID-19 management is the best right now with no apology. I tend to agree with you, if not the best, among the best. I personally believe that the restrictions in place, especially compared to other islands in the region, are some of the best. And we are being proactive with a number of these measures and not reactive, and I think that would go a long way for us. Places like Jamaica, who have not shut down their country to the extent that we have, they're dealing with 60-something cases and so on. So I tend to agree with you. Some of us Grenadians head too hard. Some of these questions are not fair to answer if only we would pay attention and listen. A lot of us don't listen. Good morning. You are doing a wonderful job. Thank you very much. I thank God for you. I think the government needs to just hold their head up, because no matter what they put in place, people just have some idea. Let us just have the good mindset. I agree. You can't please all the people all the time. And you hear suggestions, you put them in place, and then somebody comes with the next one, and then what you're supposed to do, switch. And yeah, I sent a text before you concerning farmers in the village, if it is possible for them to sell produce on the day as the village shops with some protocols as the shops, so people can get their fruits and fresh vegetables, seeing it's a long weekend. Just a suggestion. I am trying to remember, somebody had said this was something that they could look into, where farmers can sell their produce in their area, in their communities. I am not sure what the latest decision has been on that, but I know it's something that they said they would consider. We need to thank God in this time of crisis. God is still on the throne. Are NIS essential workers at this point? I ask because they flock Foodland in high numbers while other people burn in the hot sun. I am not too certain if NIS is on the list of essential workers. If they have the passes that say they are, then I guess they are. I can't remember all the groups of people who are on the list of essential workers. But once they have the pass that says they are, I think it's with good reason. The authorities are opening the grocery stores for us to get food, but what about the animals that have to get food from farm and garden? There are other places that sell, Rennick and Thompson, Caribbean Agro, they will be available for feed. For those of you with dogs and you usually get the dog food in the supermarket, just cook some rice and maybe some back and neck, or throw some gravy from your pot in the dog food. Like, let me adjust, okay? We don't need to get the things that we are accustomed to. Let me fix up. FedEx is calling persons to collect essential packages. Example, if your package contains medication, you will be able to collect. So that's an answer for the person asking about FedEx. Essential packages are being distributed. So maybe call FedEx and find out such and such is the case. Good morning. I will be grateful if you can read my text unedited. I can't promise. I call on the Governor General to immediately appoint Tobias Clement as opposition leader. Someone needs to hold. There's no parliament at this time, so I don't think that. Okay. Someone needs to hold this government to account for terrible. See, I can't read it or you write it. For the terrible way they are handling the situation. Regardless of the problems in the country, you must uphold human rights and democracy. You cannot have the police abusing those rights and the health minister addressing the nation in such an insulting way. There are countries in worse situation than Grenada, yet they treat their people with more respect and dignity. Disagree. Zoning is not the most reasonable approach because you're expected to just shop within your parish. For now, alphabetical seems like the best of the ideas suggested, and yeah, keep up the good fight. Listen, this thing is ridiculous. Maybe the lockdown has us discombobulated. Essential shopping is different for everybody. If I'm allowed to go shopping, you mind your business and let me mind mine in peace. And tell the lady who making masks to use sheet and pillowcase and kitchen towels. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm trying to get on the air.
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
I'm not sure you can ask any questions, right?
Yes, go on. I'll try my best to answer.
Two things. Morning, Diamond. Blossom, sorry.
I like Diamond. Go on.
I want to commend you for a job well done. You have a lot of patience with callers, and you'll get all these type of callers. One. Two, I would like to commend, I think he's an Inspector Cohen. I think they should really give him a promotion right after this COVID-19 settles down. He's handling his job with a lot of clarity, and, I mean, his brain functioning. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I want to commend also our police officers. I personally, I'm not going to say my name, but I work at the airport. And I have been stopped, of course, by the different points to inquire where you after and stuff. And I mean, the policemen are very courteous and they're handling their jobs very professional. There's one female in particular, she's like a pig, no apologies. And they need to speak to her seriously. This driving young people and where you going and no. I don't know if it's promotion she's looking for in the middle of the crisis. Bad timing. So Inspector Cohen, some people need to work from behind the scenes. They're not people to work in the public for people to see them. Just stay behind and work behind the scenes. 3, just going to make a couple calls because I was trying to call on Shaggy this morning. I think a suggestion with a gas pump, especially when you're going decall, I don't think it's wise for everybody to be using the gas pump. Virus spreads easily like that. I think one person with their gloves should be handling the pump and giving people their gas in their vehicle when everybody has to touch that pump and sanitizer, and so it's already scarce, and you have to be using that and giving people and spraying. That does not make much sense to me. So I think one person should be on the gas pump, the attendants, and give everybody their gas with their gloves, and when you finish, you sanitize, you wash, and all of that. Another thing is, I saw a notice somewhere that Real Valley only consider essential workers to be doctors, nurses, and I think policemen. If airports, for instance, are essential workers, the essential workers working would be the one the airport consider essential at this time. So we have to be mindful. If we're going to work, we cannot stand long in the line to wait for groceries. And people will look to abuse the situation at this time and just use their pass, I'm an essential worker. We have letters to say that we are allowed to work now, so these are the people that should be given priorities in the line. So once again, thank you, Blossom. You're doing a wonderful job. Inspector Cohen, I should be calling it CP or ACP. You're handling your job really, really nicely with real clarity and things. Thumbs up for that. And the female officer that's the pig, they need to take her off the road and keep her in the office somewhere because she's not handling the force well. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. I don't want to laugh. Cohen is Superintendent Cohen. He probably up for a promotion. I'm not sure. That lies with the force. The police officers, yes, there are police officers that are doing their duties very well. My concern, not all of them are wearing the proper PPEs, personal protective equipment. I saw some this morning without masks. And if members of the public are required to wear theirs, I think the police officers should be required to wear theirs as well to protect themselves. They're helping to protect the nation and us. They should protect themselves as well. To the female officer who is not the best people person, I'll put it that way. There are a few of them. I guess not many of them know how to handle power and responsibility. So let's hope for the best. And the pumping gas, there are attendants pumping the gas. Drivers are not allowed to come out of their vehicles to pump it. The attendants are the ones pumping the gas. So I think that area is taken care of. Once you exit your vehicle, you're ejected from the line because there are attendants there to pump your gas for you. 10 more minutes. Let me go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear Sister Blossom. Thank you for taking my call.
Quick, Miss Jacob.
Sister Blossom, I want to tell that lady that called her just now and disrespect my police officers and them. Is she that is the pig?
No, only one she was talking. Okay, Miss Jacob. All right. Thank you.
I don't like to hear that.
Okay, Miss J. Have
what
a good
I want
one.
to tell you now. What I want
Quick,
to tell
Miss
you
Jacob,
now.
because you get time already. So quickly.
Sabasami, you're doing a very good job, and keep up your good work. You and Brother Shaggy.
Thank you.
When people they on the air, they had to turn off the radio because they go all time repeating what they hear.
Okay.
That is what I want. Okay, Sister
All right.
Blossom.
Have a good one, Miss Jacob. She wasn't saying all, and let's be real, there are some police officers who don't know how to speak to people. She wasn't saying all of them. She was talking about one specifically. And I can't fault her because I know there are some who don't know how to deal with members of the public. All right, let's see. Hold on. Let me deal with some of the social media. Phone calls on pause for the moment. Superintendent Kerwin did make it clear that you will not be denied if you don't have a picture ID. Maybe a utility bill with name and address might suffice. That doesn't mean you shouldn't walk with the ID if you have one. Walk with it to avoid issues. Make it easy for everybody. Like the potatoes, the minister admonished us. That is not what the man say. Leave the man alone. Since the limited shutdown started, I suggested the community playing fields for the market vendors to help folks eating the organic foods we need now. Some folks have suggested setting it up at the National Stadium as well. This is probably something that would be addressed. The Ministry of Agriculture has advised that they are formulating a mitigation and response plan. So maybe that would be included in it. One of the things they suggested was the provision of or guaranteed market access through Marketing and National Importing Board. So maybe this is part of the discussions that they are having. Let me see what's happening. Is the ministry still testing? It has been proven that in most cases, the asymptomatic people are the ones spreading the COVID-19. Therefore, we need to continue testing in a wider area. Over the past few days, since they've reinstituted the 24-hour lockdown, they have continued contact tracing and testing the folks who have come in contact with already confirmed patients. They have not released any new test results since they announced we were up to 12, which was over the weekend, was it? Was it Friday, Saturday? One of them. They have not revealed any more results as yet. Can I suggest that farmers with ID and vehicle be given a pass to go around to villages to sell their vegetables and fruits, or can the Ministry of Agriculture vehicles be used to assist with this as well? They want to avoid people driving around and dealing with various people, so possibly they may set up a one-stop shop for fruits and vegetables. I suggest voter IDs be acceptable for this hopefully short era. They're all expired. Well, then again, maybe. Hold on, I think yesterday shopping. Hold on, let me go back by the WhatsApp. Just a little concern as a small business owner. Want to know what's in place for us. I have a bar and had to close it since early March because alcohol is not essential. I have bills to pay, so I'm trying to find out what would happen for us. There were relief programs being offered. I am not too certain, but not everybody that has to shut down can benefit from these things. I don't know who qualifies and who does not, but if everybody looks for relief, then Lord, just tell people whenever they go to the supermarket, mind their business and do their shopping and don't look at what people buy. Yeah, stop looking in people's baskets. We're under a 24-hour lockdown, which definitely means we're not supposed to go anywhere. In fact, we can't go anywhere in the BVI. But yet we have people lighting bushes in the villages, smoking all about the place. What about some of us who are suffering from asthma and or illnesses? Where I see BVI? Lords. Do you have to stay in your homes and take in all the smoke? And the worst part, not only one fire, but multiple. This is a complaint island-wide. We are under a no-burn policy at the moment, especially in the dry season, and especially now that we are under curfew and 24-hour lockdown. I see people burning bushes. Like, just leave the bush on the side, on the land, not on the side of the road, in the land, and let nature take its course. Why are we burning things? That's where I saw BVI. I'm listening from the BVI. Want to encourage my Grenadian people to take this seriously. We here in the BVI took this very seriously, hence the reason to our low confirmed rates. The strict curfew in place is for our own good. Although stressful, it is helping. Adhere to the rules and regulations in place and we will pull through. Please say hi to my home, Karaku. Big up to the Sister Isles. You see, once we cooperate, things would work, but everybody wants a bly here and a bly there. FedEx may not be in operation due to the fact that the airport is closed unless special permission is given for the plane, which may be unlikely. Maybe those interested should call or check their site. A notice may be posted there. Good point. I think if people want fabric to make masks, they can take an old shirt or scarf, wash them properly, and make a few masks. Exactly. We're waiting on fabric stores to open. Why? Anxiety and panic creates unreasonable behavior. Let's practice empathy. Also, I want to know why people get in food with no sale, no money. I want some info on where to sign up for the money the government has to help people like us. Thanks. We can't eat healthy at all. We can't get fruits or vegetables. We're going to get sick. In terms of the information, I remember there is an arrangement with the CDB, the Development Bank, so maybe you can check out their website if they have one, or their Facebook pages. There's a lot of information that we need to know that we can look for. Some of these things I do not know off the top of my head. Why the government not finish pay all the workers before shutting down the country? Again, ask the government. In terms of certain people requesting certain services like banks, etc., considerations to be given till the elderly, shut-ins, those who solely depend on NIS or government social relief. Those who are living on their own will find it difficult to survive. Hold on, I'm trying to go through as many as I can to stick to my 1 hour time frame. This is a concern. Yes, I know now someone who hasn't eaten because they can't move until Saturday. A lot of people and really know what's going on out there. They have nothing to eat. If you know of someone who has nothing to eat, maybe lend a helping hand. See how you can reach out and don't just say they're suffering. Give them a bread. You bake the bread, give them one or something. It is well to have X to YZ business functioning in this COVID times. If I were the one facilitating or interfacing at this time, would my expectations be the same? Come on, Grenadians, think of the other persons. They have to protect themselves too. COVID-19 spares no one. Haven't that taught us anything? Or behaving like real COVIDiots? I love that word. This is the right time the politicians should go back to the drawing board and think about educating Grenadians. We only after things and don't count the cost. We do panic voting and panic shopping. What's about the mental challenge people? When their meds finish, how they will be able to refill? And remember, those people normally go to the outpatient clinics. What is it there for them? The Mount Gay Mental Facility is still operating. Health centers are still operating. They can get these things. Good morning. Is a fish market open? No, it's not. There's somebody sending a voice note. I can't listen to that. Is the post office open? No, it's not. I understand the grouping on Saturday. I notice all after I'm flying through these messages. What if the people in surnames shop from 8 to 12 and they are there after people in the line? The point is for everybody to be able to move quickly. There is a time frame in place at some of the supermarkets, how long you can spend within the supermarkets. If everybody obeys and spend the 20 minutes at Real Value or the 25 at Foodland or whatever time frame they have, instead of taking our time and scrolling through the aisles, then the lines would move as quick as possible and we won't have to be worried about people in the first batch still in line when the second batch is coming in. Just, get away troops. Can you inform the public of the Ministry of Health press conference scheduled for today? Oh, I wasn't aware. Somebody is informing that the Ministry of Health has a news conference 4 p.m. today. It will be posted on the GIS website. So please take note. Most likely, once it's from the Ministry of Health, it will be carried live here on GBN Channel 7, 11, and 20, Classic 105, and Hot 98. So please stay tuned for that. If I get more information, well, then again, my time is up. But yes, stick and stay right here. This is your information center. Okay, I think that's all the time I have today. I'm saying it and I'm making sure. Some people have food and financial concerns and we are struggling more than others. What's needed right now is the most honest individuals who won't try to trick the system. True. Okay, that's it for now. I I think you're being insensitive to the reality of many Grenadians. It's not someone's fault if they only have one ID. Some people reality is that they never traveled, so never had gotten a passport. Some people never held fixed employment and so never had a. So we're really going to. Okay. All right. If you don't have an ID, then let's hope for the best if you walk with your proof of address then. There are things that a lot of organizations, okay, I can't go through all 41 messages on WhatsApp at the moment. My time is up. But I'd say this, let's remember for future reference that there were reasons that a lot of our officials, whether it's banks, NIS, Ministry of Health, that encourage us to do certain things, whether it's to get a telecard, whether it's to get a national ID, not national ID, we don't have one, but whether it's to get a passport. These things are in place for situations like these. So if you don't have a picture ID because you don't have a passport because you never traveled, you don't have an NIS card because you don't have employment, you don't have voter registration card because for whatever reason you don't vote, there are things in place to help us. They're trying to help us. So in instances like this, I'm sure a lot of people are saying, should I go and get a telecard when they tell me? Should I sign up for my passport? Let's think about that when things go back to normal. Have yourselves a productive Thursday, a blessed Easter weekend. Gratefully, I would not be here for the next 4 days. I'll be back with you Tuesday, God willing. I'll be sleeping until after sunrise for the first time in months. So have yourselves a productive one. Be safe. Continue to stay COVID-free. Do what you need to. Respect the rules and regulations. Do what you need to ensure that we could go back to a normal life as soon as possible. If you do not need to be outside, stay home. If you do not need to be outside, stay home. If you do not need to be outside, stay home. And for the amount of people that were making groceries on Monday, while I know there are others that have not been able to fulfill their shopping list because the shops were closed after a time, I don't expect to see that massive amount of people on Saturday because we should have stocked up for the amount of people I saw. We should be very few and far between on Saturday and Sunday. Until then, be safe. Wear your masks in public. It is a requirement, or you could be arrested if you don't have a mask or a scarf or your face, tie a t-shirt, do something or the other to protect yourselves. Be safe. Be careful. Let's be smart or do our part to stay COVID-19 smart. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good weekend. Happy Easter.